Hello, and welcome back to the Goodness Margin, the place where we find margin for the good things in life. I'm still here in the master closet this week, and I'm answering your questions that you have asked me on Instagram. So let's get started. Question number 1 is the best place to keep suitcases. Now, in my children's closet, they each have a small suitcase, and their closets have plenty of room in them. And so the way that their closets are made, there's kind of some dead space that's sort of tucked back behind the door. I keep their suitcases there in the closet. I prefer to keep my suitcases out of the way. I don't want to trip over them. And so we actually keep them in an attic area that's kind of back behind our closet. Now, you want to keep them in somewhere that's easy to get to. We travel a lot, and so I don't want to keep it in an attic that I have to climb up to get to it. And our beds aren't really high enough to slide them under there. So I find it really simple for me to keep them in this attic space, in this storage space, if you will. So you want to keep them accessible, but you don't want them in the way. Question number 2. What is a capsule wardrobe and what are your staple pieces? Well, a capsule wardrobe is really where that your wardrobe coordinates. I know that if you look on Pinterest, you can find these lists of outfits. And so you have to have these exact pieces, and that is how you create a capsule wardrobe. You are obviously welcome to follow something like that. But for me, that would have meant getting rid of pretty much all of my clothes and just sort of starting over, and I didn't want to do that. One thing I have learned with going through my closet, and if you see the video from last week where I talk about how I organize my closet, you will find that when you color coordinate your clothes, you start to see a trend. These are the colors that I really like to wear. And so in the winter time, I typically wear a lot of darker colors, and I prefer black. I like things that go with black. So I mostly have black shoes, or I have neutral shoes. I have a pair of nude sandals that I wear a lot in the summer because they tend to go with everything. And when I'm going to pack for a trip, whatever season it is, if it's summer, winter, fall, I will be able to pack pretty easily because my clothes coordinate. As far as my staple pieces, I like to find things that are quality if I'm going to wear them a lot. Now, I may be in need of a black skirt and I need it quickly, and so I may grab it on Amazon. Occasionally, I found some things that are pretty decent quality. More often than not, I know that a piece that I only pay $15 for on Amazon is probably only going to last me one season. And so I would rather, if I can, find something that's a lot more high quality, maybe pay a little bit more for it, and know that it'll last me a long time. My 2 favorite places to shop right now are Nordstrom Rack. I love especially their shoes, that I can find some really high quality shoes for very inexpensive price. And these are shoes I've kept for years and years. And then I love Anthropologie. I feel like they have quality pieces, but yet sometimes they're a little bit unique, and so they'll stand out. Question number 3, what about a tiny closet with no shoe organization? So first of all, you want to be sure that you have completely minimized your closet. I know that with my shoes, it was a slow process, and it seemed like each time I went through my closet, I got rid of more and more shoes because I realized that I didn't need that pair of shoes that I only wore once in a season. It was slowly, they were getting dusty in my closet and I really wasn't using them. And so I either sold them or I donated them. So the less shoes you have, the less space that you're going to need. But if you have a small closet, the best way to organize it is the best way that it fits in that space. So if you have a lot of high hanging things, maybe look for some racks online that will fit underneath that you can put your shoes in. Some people like to use plastic bins to put their shoes in, and that way it protects them. I personally have my shoes just lined out. They're sitting out together, and that way I can see exactly what I have. For my daughter's closet, her closet isn't very large, so I utilize the back of the door with an over the door rack for shoe organization. I encourage you just to look it up on Pinterest. There are all kinds of ideas. And again, once you minimize your closet, you will find that you have a lot more room than you thought you did. Question number 4, the best places to sell or donate your clothes. So I have recently discovered that I like to sell clothes on Poshmark. If you have something that's a good brand, that is a great place to sell clothes. They make it really simple. And once you have completed the transaction, they will send you a packing slip or a shipping label for you to just print out. You cut that out, put it on top of the package and mail it. And it has been a really, really easy way. They do charge a fee But for me, because of the convenience, it seems to be the best way that I have been selling clothes lately. You can also, if you have a particular size of clothing or a particular brand that you like, you can find a Facebook group where that only sells maybe Anthropologie clothes or clothes that are a particular brand. I know that especially for kids' clothes, there are a lot of those groups out there, and that is a simple way to sell clothes. As far as donating, in our area, there are a lot of places you can actually drive up and the people will pull the donation bags out of the back of your car for you, or you can find a local charity. We have a charity here that once a month, they give me a call and I let them know yes or no if I have some things for them to pick up, and they'll pick them up on a Monday morning on my front porch, and that is really convenient. Another way I encourage you to think about letting go of your clothes is to pass it on to someone else you know. I know that there came a period of time in my life where I realized I would probably never fit back into some of those teeny tiny clothes, but I had a friend who had a beautiful teenager who had recently hit a growth spurt, and so I decided to pass a lot of those clothing items onto her. And I know I found a lot of joy, and I have found a lot of joy whenever I pass clothes on to other people so that they can enjoy them. But the biggest tip is that you want to get rid of the clothes as quickly as possible. When you have finished minimizing all of that stuff that's in the zone 3 that we talked about last week, you want to immediately take that. If you're going to donate it, immediately take them to where you're going to donate. Or if you're going to sell them, post them online as quickly as possible. You want to get those things out of your house. So question number 5, do you keep your laundry hamper in your closet? So that's a great question. I used to keep it in my closet, but then I realized there was actually a space in my bathroom that made more sense. There's a space kind of behind the door. And when you're getting in the shower, you can just drop your clothes right into that hamper. So I think wherever is the most convenient for you to keep that hamper, where it's convenient for you to take it to the laundry room and then bring it back to put your clothes away, that's the best place to keep your hamper. Question number 6, how do you store seasonal clothing? So I've done it a few different ways. When my husband and I first got married, we had a really small space. The closet was extremely small. And so if I wanted to store during the summer, I'd had a sweater, maybe like this, it may take up a lot of space. And so I would keep those in a bin and I would keep those in storage because I needed to not have those in my closet. You want to be sure you have those in an airtight container. And I know there are different either mothballs or cedar blocks or things you can add to those in case you're worried about moths getting into your sweaters. I know that can happen. My sister, unfortunately, had that happen to her once. So you do want to be sure that if you are taking your seasonal items out of your closet, that you keep them somewhere that they will be safe and they won't get destroyed. Thankfully, once I have minimized my closet, I now have plenty of room to store all of my seasons of clothes here all at once. And in the same vein of a capsule wardrobe, there are a lot of pieces that I like to use for layering pieces. So a denim shirt, I may just wear it in the summer, but I also may wear it in the fall and winter with a sweater on top of it. And so that's a piece that I would keep in my closet no matter when. I would use that all seasons. Question number 7, how do you get rid of clothes when you're just getting started and you're overwhelmed? Well, that's a really great question. And I actually went through step by step last week of what I recommend that you do. I know it can be really overwhelming, especially when we have hung on to clothes for years. I was blessed to be the same size from about high school to my early 30s. I had stayed a very similar size, and I did not realize how many clothes that I had ended up with. I mean, it was a lot. I was a bargain shopper, and so if I found something on sale, I bought it. Well, it may not fit me great, and so I would still keep it in my closet though, because that's just what I did, and that's what most of us do. It's a really eye-opening experience when we go through our closet. I realized I had 17 black skirts. 17. And that wasn't the first pass through my closet. So there's no telling how many I had the first time. A lot of them didn't even fit me. One of them was ripped, but yet they were still hanging in my closet. I got rid of pieces that had the price tag hanging on them because it was way too late to return it and it didn't fit me right, or I didn't like the way that it fit. And I had to let those pieces go. So a few little tips to let go of the guilt of that. We've already made those mistakes. I always tell people to think of what you would tell your best friend or what you would tell your daughter. If she had made a mistake, would you want her to hang on to that guilt and just live there, or learn from that lesson and move on? We've all made mistakes. We have all bought things that we're going to regret, and essentially, we feel like we've wasted our money. We haven't wasted our money. We've just paid for a lesson, and let's learn that lesson and be intentional about the things that we bring back into our closets. I hope some of these questions have been things that you were wondering about the master closet and they've helped you. If you've enjoyed this video, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and you'll be notified when the next video goes live.